Okie dokies. So I'm gonna try and get into some comedy here. I've been told that I should do it. I've had a lot of crap happen in my life. A lot of people have, bad or good. And, you're telling the stories all the time and everything. And some of it could be funny. Some of it is just, stupid or sad or whatever, and, don't want to think about it no more and stuff like that. But so much stuff has happened to me that, just like the comedians out there, like I can literally just be on stage with a microphone because that's how much stuff I've been through and done, to make like jokes out of it, to like talk about it and hopefully make people laugh because it's real stuff. I got a lot of real stories, and the way I talk and just say stuff, and I've been told I need to do it, so I want to try and do it. I thought about doing a separate YouTube channel for that. I don't know how to figure it out, but I might just add it to my original channel here and just mix it up with, my other topics that I'm like more serious about, but mixed up with some comedy. It's all good for the depression out there and stress. We all need a laugh. I mean, I'm starting to laugh at everything and it feels good, but I've been through a lot of crap and down for a couple of years and stuff like that, but I'm gonna try and get into it. But these are like, I'm not even making this stuff up. I'm gonna do this first video about like massage, my massage therapy experiences. I was a licensed therapist. I think my license is still like in limbo. Not worried about it. I haven't, done anything with it. I don't plan to. And I've done fitness training and stuff like that. And I like to kind of get back into that. I want to motivate people and stuff like that. And then do some comedy, along the way. Just real stuff I've been through. Like, I can't make it up. And it's just too much stuff. You got to get it out, because when it sits all up in here, it drives you nuts, and that's where the problems begin. But this one's going to be about massage therapy stories, experiences, and I pretty much remember a bunch of them. I'm going to start with a good one, this first one. And another thing is, like I've tried to post on the Facebook, I've posted on the Craigslist. That's not good because you get I'll get homosexuals on there and all kinds of people, and they're asking and requesting things. They're seeing if I do this and do that, and will I rub this spot and everything else. And I gotta say, hey dude, I'm straight and I'm professional, blah blah blah. I don't do that. So whatever you want to do here, keep your damn underwear on, and whatever, and we're good to go. Like, don't let me see anything. That's how I do it. But go to someone else if you want something else done, or to a parlor or whatever, Chinese parlor and all those things. Be whatever floats your boat. But I get all these requests and people texting, and I'm like, no, I'm straight and everything. And they're like, one guy was like, well, you got a lot to learn about life. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do it. Simple as that. I have a license. If I didn't care, and and they like to offer different money, and if I took like $300, that's a different story. But I was trying to be professional and make a living at it, and that was even hard in itself, and being a male therapist. But that was one thing. But doing the Craigslist, doing the Facebook, there was even Backpage too, they got rid of. That was bad. A lot of bad stuff on there, casuals and all kinds of crap. Casuals on the Craigslist. All bad stuff, man. I was trying to be professional on there, but you got all these other people and women saying, hey, sensual massages over here, and, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So that's what you see on there. But you know, they're not getting it from me, I'll tell you that much. But those are the things I had to deal with. If you're working in a spa and everything, you don't deal with that. You get normal people coming in, and then the downfall is the pay. You know, the pay's not as good, and you don't do what you want, get to do what you want. I like doing what I want, and doing stuff that I learned, and doing stuff for the client, the customer, and stuff like that. So those are things I ran into working for people and working in these spas. Just like any job, you know, you don't get to do what the hell you want. So, you know, at 36, you know, I'm sticking on doing what I still love to do. Nothing's changed. But I'm gonna see what I can do here, see if I can make some people laugh their ass off, because it just flows out. Don't care. Been to enough shit. You know, a lot of us have. Don't care. I make myself laugh, but it's all good stuff. So now I'm gonna bring up a big story here. I think, yeah, this came from an ad on the Craigslist, I'm pretty sure. So this guy, like, I don't know if he texted me or whatever, can't remember. This was back in probably 2016 or something, after I moved back from Pennsylvania. Like, I was doing massage therapy in Colorado for 5 months, moved back home, and then I tried to do Pennsylvania and around Pittsburgh for, you know, another half a year, and that lasted so long, and then those jobs didn't work out, so I was on the Craigslist over there, and that wasn't so bad. It's like Ohio is like the worst. It's bad. So I think this guy found me on Craigslist. He says, like, he was an administrator at this college over there, and I'm like, well, I don't, you know, come over to Pennsylvania, or I'm not living there no more. He's like, oh, well, you know, I'll come over to you. I'll you know, let's meet up at this hotel, like in Niles. I'm like, okay. So he, you know, we agree on all that stuff, and you know, he knew my price and that, like $60 an hour and stuff like that. So I drive over there, you know, and got my stuff out of the truck, or dropped it off, whatever, and told him, hey, I'm here, and he gave me like his room and stuff, room number. So I don't know, I either like had one of my, like a dolly, or I was like carrying my stuff, I can't remember, but my table and everything, stuff I needed. So I'm like going through the hotel and go on the elevator, you know, and pretty much went to his room, and I go in there, and seemed like an okay guy, you know. It's always, you know, a little nerve-wracking, but got into the room and stuff. Got set up, as I recall. Got my table set up and everything, sheets, and I don't know, I guess he got on the table, and that's where it began. He's on the damn table, and like I notice everything, you know, like over here. So like the windows are over there towards the parking lot or whatever. He's right here on the table. He had like a laptop over here. And I think that's the first thing I noticed. And all of a sudden I see a glare on the damn windows. And he had like porn on his laptop, glaring on the window. And I'm like, okay, like, why didn't he just do that before I came there? Or wait until I'm done or something? I don't know what his deal was, but I'm like, I noticed something over there. Like, you forgot to turn something off. He's like, oh yeah. You know, yeah, I forgot to do that. Not concerned with it at all. It just stayed on the whole time. So then the next thing, he's like staring at me. So I'm like starting to do stuff. And he's staring at me like this. I'm like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? I'm like, should I just get this guy off the table and leave, or do I still make my money? I don't know. I need money. So I chose to stay. And he's still staring at me, and I'm like, man, this guy's freaking me out. So I'm doing my stuff, and I'm moving down. I'm just like, are you okay? Are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, boy, oh boy, you know, about to slap you silly here. Anything happens. And I'm just moving around the body, doing my thing. I think I did an hour massage on him. And got done, got him off the table, and packed my stuff up. I was ready to get the hell out of there. Got my money, my cash, went out the door towards the elevators, and I got my stuff there, waiting for the elevators to open up. And all of a sudden, this girl, I think in a red dress and heels, I don't know what, I don't remember, something like that, red, maybe blonde hair, I don't know what the hell hair color was, but she comes out of the elevator. I'm like, okay. And I knew where she was going. I knew right what she was doing. Because that guy was like texting or on the phone with somebody, you know. So like he was having a whole like entertainment night with himself or something. He thought he was going to get some kind of action out of me. That wasn't happening. So then he calls this other chick up. She comes out of the elevator. And I knew right where she was going. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Got on the elevator and, you know, on I went. So that was an experience. Never seen him again. I think I quit Craigslist, retired from it. That was it. I probably even quit massage. Like, that was it for me. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. But, that was a big one. And then, yeah, the people texting me off of Craigslist, you know, wanting different stuff done and rubbed here, rubbed whatever. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. I'm straight professional. Get somebody else to do it. And that was that. And then when I was over Pennsylvania, I had this old, like 70-year-old lawyer, attorney. He was like floating back and forth between Ohio, Pennsylvania, and I don't know if it was Indiana or Virginia, but he was like in the oil business and stuff. But he found me on the Craigslist over there. So we met up at the Pittsburgh airport over there. He wanted like a 2-hour massage. I'm like, I don't do 2-hour massages. He's like, well, you know, I'll pay you the full thing and stuff, whatever. I'm like, I've always needed money, like always need damn money, you know, and you just do what you gotta do. And I had the license going, not like I was doing anything else. So, you know, packed my stuff up in the truck, went up to the airport. They have like, I'm thinking of the hotel in Cleveland. I also massaged them at the hotel at the Cleveland airport. They had valet parking, but not at Pittsburgh. But at Pittsburgh, I dropped my crap off at the door, parked, came back, wheeled it all the way up to his room, got in there, did 2-hour massage on this guy, and, he was another, freak, random person. Just laying on the table and pretty much did a full body, and then did another full body on him. Just boring as hell. And just kind of doing that, working everything. And then he, again, he was something else. But it's like you try to tell people, like, this is what I require of you, and this is, how I do it. They seem to not care, really. They just kind of goes over their heads. But, obviously men are different, and they don't care. And then women are different, and you got to be really good and professional with that. But, men, obviously they're in their underwear and stuff like that. and laying there. But a lot of these guys are like, wow, I like nude massages. I like all. I'm just like, I don't care. You're gonna have your damn underwear on or a towel or some shit. I'm not gonna be looking at nothing. So that's what I ran into a lot too with him and everybody else. But I made my money every time. I probably massaged him, I don't know, 4 times or something. And then when I moved back to Ohio, somehow he contacted me again and said, hey, I drive through Cleveland back and forth. Why don't we meet up at the, airport hotel? I'm like, okay. I think at this point I was already doing other stuff and landscaping and things, but still trying to do a little bit of massage. Okay, so I go up there. They got valet parking, I think. And I'm not sure if the person still parked my truck or I did it, but I think they did it. But dropped my stuff off. Again, went up to his room. Same ordeal. Laying onto my table and getting a 2-hour massage, whatever, making my money, and out I go. And that was sure an experience. Don't know where he is, if he's, even alive still or not, but pretty much lost these people's numbers. But, that was an experience. Let's see. Trying to think of another one. Oh boy, let's see. I've had some people come to the house and do some stuff, do some stretching. Had one guy, like a straight guy, come here for a massage. And that was it. Straight guy stuff. Nothing crazy, weird, just straight. And, ended up being friends and stuff like that. So, he's been a best friend and been here since day one, 2016. So, never know what happens with that. But, other than that, I've had some good people. Maybe I did forget some of my stories. Those are some big ones, but I forgot some. I've done some massages at these triathlons and bike tours. Akron Marathon. That was fun. And you make some cash there. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Just a bunch of Craigslist random stuff. But when I was over in Pennsylvania, I went to different people's houses and, it was pretty normal. Even if, they might have been attracted to me. They didn't do anything to me. It's not like Ohio. It was pretty normal over there. But, when I guess, these managers and people that own these spas over there were jealous of me, or I don't know what the heck their problem was, but, didn't work out at these places. I still did good and made tips, but don't know what went wrong there. And then started doing my own thing with these people, and that went well. But, wasn't enough. Everything was just the same old stuff over there like it is over here in Ohio. So I just decided to move back and just keep rolling, keep doing stuff. Took different opportunities, and then I got into landscaping and handiwork, all that type of stuff. But, so that was Craigslist stuff. Let's see, we're 19 minutes in here. Shoot, can't think of anything else. I know there's more stuff, but crap-a-ronies, crap. My mind just went blank again. I just pounded down a good chicken sandwich and everything. My brain should be working. But those are some big stories there. And then other than that, just different people that were texting me and just wanted different things rubbed out, and that wasn't happening. So another thing you run into is you don't know if it's a cop or who the hell it is. They're texting, they're like, do you do this? Do you do that? And and you wonder if they're tricking you and stuff. That's another thing to worry about. And you know, if they're like trying to be a female or a guy, it don't matter. Here's another big one. I was over at an ex-girlfriend's parents' house, staying over there, and this was at nighttime. This guy texted me off of Craigslist. He's like, you know, hey, like, you have time to, you know, come over, you know, massage? You got your stuff with you? I said, nope, I'm at the girlfriend's house, and I don't got my table or nothing with me. Okay, so like, I don't know, a couple seconds go by, you know, and he's texting back or whatever. He's saying, oh, well, you know, we got the bed, can lay out on the bed. I'm like, this dude, you know, is already trying to do stuff to me and talking about a bed and everything. It's not happening. He just keeps trying with me, like, you know, yeah, we got the bed, and, you know, we'll figure it out. No, we sure the hell we won't figure it out, because I'm not coming there. I'm staying here and you're staying there. That's not happening. So, you know, he can just massage himself, I guess, because that's not happening. But he just kept coming along, you know, coming back and saying, well, you know, I'll pay you this much and everything. And I'm like, well, don't care, because I'm not doing anything, you know? So that wasn't happening. Eventually he just stopped, or maybe I blocked him. I don't remember that either, but something happened. So that was another good one. Oh boy, let's see. Usually my brain is working a million times a minute, but, you know, I'm on camera, so I'm like not thinking good. Just did a bunch of different stuff. Worked at different places. Did some massages on my own out in Pennsylvania, but Colorado too. So, you know, that was fine. Let me see. Those are some big ones, though. I can't remember. I can't think of anything else, but those are some good ones. This guy, when I was walking through a mall, I don't remember what mall it was, this guy was texting me. He was like a yoga instructor, I think. And, was it yoga? Or it was some other thing he was teaching. Like, he was teaching women and stuff like that. He was another one that was trying to get something out of me if I did certain things, and, you know, like consensual massage and everything, sensual stuff. Nope, not on a guy. On a girl, that's fine, but nope, not you, not on a guy. You know, he was just trying to see if I did different things. And then so he's the one that was saying, like, wow, you got a lot to learn about life and everything. And I'm like, no, I don't. You know, I know some stuff about life. And, you know, either you want something done or you're not, or don't. And that's it. So that was that. But, yeah, it's been different stuff like that. I'll probably think of more things later on, you watch, but those are some big stories. If you can just imagine those stories and probably other experiences that I've had that I'm not remembering right now, but that's basically in a nutshell. And it's been pretty crazy. But, yep, I've been around the world and learned a bunch of stuff, knowledge, everything about the body and everything, and, you know, we never stop learning. Keep learning stuff and off of other people, and, you know, met this homeopathic dude, and so he's giving me all these tips and everything, so that's cool, and I'm getting stuff to use, build up this body and everything. I was like in a almost 3-year coma, depression coma. Didn't know who the hell I was or anything. Had to wake up and bring myself back and talk to everybody again, wondering where the hell I went, and stuff like that. And I'm pounding down sandwiches, eating better. Before I just used to sit there and just didn't want to eat, stared at the food in disgust. couldn't do nothing. Now I'm pounding down burgers and chicken in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, gone. You know, need another sandwich. But yep. So that's doing good. That's probably about all I have for that one. The good stories, at least. I mean, I've just had other normal people, mix of people. So that's been good. I sure wish I could remember more stories, but that's pretty much it. Just Craigslist stuff. Just Craigslist stuff. Different things. I think I tried advertising on the one of those apps. I don't know if it wasn't Let Go or anything. It was some other app. And some girl messaged me on there and was like talking about sensual massages, consensual stuff. I'm like, oh boy, like, get a bad feeling about this. She might be a cop or something. So, you know, kind of, you know, ignored that one, dodged that one a little bit. You know, you just never know, but, you know, you got to really trust that. So that didn't happen. That was a little weird. But I've been all over doing in-home massages, different stuff, just trying to make it work, and it was tough. You know, did some lawyers and stuff like that, massage on lawyers, or trained one too. And one of them I massaged on, he was a real trip. You know, opposite in politics and stuff like that, but he was a tripster. So that was fun. He's the one, like, he had to have candles lit. There was candles lit whenever I got there. And he would pretty much be laying on the damn table and sleeping when I got there. So he's like, or he would have his CPAP machine on and stuff. And I would get there, I would come walking in the room, he's sleeping, I'm like, okay, time to do my thing. And you know, it's like, how the heck do you even know I'm here and doing anything? How do you know I'm doing anything? Sometimes he had money laying there. If he had damn money there, I could have just took it and left. He would have been still sleeping there. How the hell would he know if I came and went? He's laying there, and I'm just doing my thing, you know, and then he wakes up and, oh, hey, and, you know, then we start talking about stuff. So that was a real trip. And this was like 10 o'clock at night. I would be like doing stuff during the day, driving around, whatever, helping my mother do stuff or clean. All of a sudden I get a phone call or a text, hey, you know, you able to do a massage tonight? And, you know, and it was like for 10 o'clock at night. So like he can just go right to bed. And then I had to drive like 40 minutes back home after relaxing and putting the person to sleep, and I gotta freaking drive back home to go to bed myself. So, you know, that was pretty crazy. But when you work at like the spas, that's kind of like the usual thing too. People want a massage, you know, afternoons, in the evenings, and on the weekends. That's how it pretty much works. But that was just, everything was a real trip, let me tell you. Other than that, you know, everything was pretty steady and normal. So, you know, that's all in a nutshell right there. So, stories with that, but we'll see how this video does. Always got experiences, and I keep going through experiences. We all do, and you know, all these comedians are talking about stuff, you know, and usually it's what's going on in our life. I don't make this stuff up. I'm not making it up. You know, I can't make anything up. Like, I wrote a memoir book and a motivational book. I can't even write a damn, you know, novel, anything fiction. Can't make shit up. Like, I have to speak it out and everything because that's what makes it good. So, all right. see how this video does. Hopefully it makes you laugh, and you know, because you know, I seem to do it in person. But we will see, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.